Hey everybody, this is an unexpected stop. I'll flip the camera around in a second, but I am in New York, and if you could see me, right behind me is Ulysses S. Grant's tomb. Civil War general during actually the Mexican-American War, and then going into the Civil War. He wasn't a general during the Mexican-American War, but he was in the Mexican-American War, and then he was in the Civil War as a general. Notable places like I believe he was at Gettysburg. Anyways, I'm north of Central Park area, and this is the outside. This was going to be a quick drive-by, but I got to show you guys the inside. I already checked with the park rangers, and I told them I'd talk real low and be respectful. There's not a lot of people here. Hard to find parking, but this was well worth videotaping. So I'm on Manhattan Island in New York City at Grant's tomb. And I can't see myself right now because I have the way the camera is, but let me spin around and I'm going to give you guys a little video tour. And I'm going to hold the mic to my mouth because I know it's been bleeding out. When I get inside the tomb itself, I'm going to remove my hat. But very beautiful marble. The parking's really tight around the circle of this place. I'm going to show you one original flag, and then some of them are going to be replicas, and then going in you'll see the caskets themselves. We were just going to drive around here and then run in and run out, but I took some pictures, but this is really worth videotaping, recording. So the first thing I'm going to show you guys, as you enter into the tomb, in the distance you'll see an American flag center, and then to the camera left is a general flag. Now when you look down, there's where the two sarcophaguses or crypts are. So Ulysses S. Grant and Julia Grant. And I'm going to be able to walk down below that little corridor area. So, and they have some really beautiful artwork up in the above. So we got the Civil War there, Confederate side, Union side. I would imagine that's depicting one of the battles. And then going to the right of the tomb, depicting another battle. But here's one thing I want to show you guys. This is a original 35-star flag. There's 35 stars there. The 35th state being West Virginia, which actually reverted back to the Union once the state of Virginia seceded to the South. The people of West Virginia seceded back to the North. And then another important part of this flag is where it says 11th Regiment Indiana Volunteers. They were only expecting the war to go a year and a half. So this group did not have longevity initially, but as the war lasted longer, they brought them back into activation. But this is an original flag, I think, from sometime in the Civil War, 1863, 1864. And I apologize if I had those dates wrong, but this is an original one. And there are two flag rooms I'm going to walk through real quick. This is a beautiful marble building. I'm just so surprised how people didn't, how there's just not a lot of people here. So these were all reproduced flags. These are not original from the Civil War. They're reproduced, but they're renditions of what flags would have been flown. And then I'll go to the other flag room, and then I'll go downstairs. It's very warm in here. It's cold outside today, but it's very warm in the building. And then here's his general's flag, current day U.S. flag. And I'm probably thinking that that's the New York state flag there. Right now it's just me and my daughters in here. I just can't not believe the degree of significance this place has. And there's not a lot of people. So I'm getting closer to the two vaults, crypts, or whatever they're called. So I'm on the bottom now, looking up to the cupola, coming back down. And then I want to show you some of the notables they have in here. Some busts. So you have Sheridan. McPherson. Sherman. William Tecumseh Sherman. He did a march to the sea. He's the one that cut the state of Georgia in half. Interesting history. My brother Tony did a report on that. Now Ord, I want to look into more about Ord because there's a fort called Fort Ord in California that was an active Army fort when I was in the Army, but it's no longer, and I think that's probably what it's named after. Thomas. And going back to the crypts, and then that's the top level. Okay, now when I was down in Arlington, it was said that they wanted to entomb Barry Grant in Arlington. There's only two presidents in Arlington. One is John F. Kennedy, has the eternal flame, and the other president is Taft. There's only two presidents in Arlington. So Grant wanted to be up here, home state of New York. Now he dies in 1885. In 1885, he was brought here close to this vicinity. And from 1885 to 1897, he was entombed just behind this building in a kind of indescript brick structure. It took about 12 years to construct what I just showed you. So in 1897, he gets moved from that temporary tomb into where I just showed you. I'd like to give you a little bit more history about Grant, but you could probably there's probably more detailed YouTubers that will talk about Grant and his actions in the Civil War. But this hopefully inspires anyone who's traveling or visiting New York to take a moment and visit one of the greatest generals and greatest presidents that has served the United States. And it's so peaceful and nice in there. It's just going to be kind of tight to find parking. And if you're parking in Manhattan, you can get public transportation here. Just another trivia thing. He's also the president that's on the $50 bill. So I'm going to wrap it up with that. Oh, actually, there's my wife. She must have found a parking spot. But I'm going to wrap it up with that. And actually, let me pause it real quick, and then I'm going to look something up. Hold on, guys. This is considered a national park. I always pick up these flyers whenever I'm visiting national parks and national monuments. But I always pick up one of these flyers, and they do have a good amount of information. I mean, it's your knowledge and interest is only as limited to how far you want to read or learn about this stuff. But I think I kind of covered all the high points of this monument and Grant himself. So, but I hope you enjoyed it. It says here, Robert E. Lee surrendered to him on April 9th, 1865 at Appomattox Courthouse. Grant's remains were placed in a temporary vault until appropriate memorial could be funded and built. On April 27th, 1897, the 75th anniversary of Grant's birth. Thousands of people, including diplomats from 26 countries, attended the dedication. So, Julia Grant, says here, Julia Grant reviewed the ceremony sitting next to President McKinley. She was laid by her husband's side after her death in 1902. So I'm not just going to be boring and read that all to you. I just wanted to get a couple of snippets from there. But I really hope you enjoyed it. And like I said, if you get out to New York, definitely make it so peaceful out here. Definitely make an attempt to get out here and get away from the busy city. And there is just really nobody, hardly anybody here. All right, like, subscribe, get out there and enjoy your country and visit. I mean, you might have something in your back door that may be worthwhile for you to throw on YouTube for others can see. Okay, and I'm going to leave it with this shot of this cool building off to the side, which I have no idea what it's at. All right, bye-bye, everybody.